Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me, 𝚉𝙴𝙬𝙺, your professor of performing arts, for a deck building episode of Lorcana Academy. I'm so excited to show you how we're going to delight the audience with our newfound tricks. But before we do, I have something that I would like to share with you. Did you know that you can order Lorcana cards from the sponsor of this very channel, Coolstuffinc? Yeah, as a matter of fact, you can. I used the code Academy to get 5% off and picked up another copy of A Whole New World and Tinkerbell, which we're going to be putting into some updated deck builds today. So make sure if you're looking for some Lorcana stuff to head over to Coolstuffinc and use Academy at checkout for 5. Starting out today, I'm going to show you the Steel and Emerald deck that you may have seen me play in the 4-player multi-game. It's an awesome episode, so if you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. It's linked in the description. But I really want to show you some of the things that I liked, and I'm only using the limited card pool I have, which consists of all of the cards from a booster box, minus some trades that I've done with some friends at my local game store. The whole reason I wanted to play Steel is because of these cards right here in front of me. Obviously, Tinkerbell, Tiny Tactician, I have an affinity for because it's my first Lorcana cosplay, what I wore to Gen Con, and when I chose to make that cosplay, Tinkerbell Giant Fairy was not revealed yet. Both of her abilities are just phenomenal. When she comes into play, she deals 1 damage to each opposing character, and her second ability, whenever she banishes another character in a challenge, I can deal 2 damage to chosen opposing character. So she is just damage, damage, damage. The theme of this deck is going to follow that of damage. I'm leaning in hard with Grab Your Sword, also being able to deal 2 damage to each opposing character. And just in case I'm not finding the cards that I need, a very powerful mechanic in other card games is getting to redraw 7 cards, a full restart of a hand. Now, my opponents are going to get that advantage too, but if I time it right, it might work well for me. Let me show you some of the Emerald cards that help highlight these actions and then get us some more damage. And action! No, literally, here are some of the actions that I'm playing in my Steel Emerald deck that I'm getting some extra value out of, and here's how. So I've got Smash, which is an inkable card, one of the few actions in my deck that is inkable and can deal 3 damage to chosen character. Boom, love that. In case I need more damage, I've got Fire the Cannons, which for 1 can deal 2 damage to chosen character. I also found Stampede in Emerald, which says deal 2 damage to chosen damaged character. There is that additional word in there. But if I've done some damage already with one of these 8 spells, or Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy, or Grab Your Sword, Stampede could be a finisher for some characters with larger willpower. And if that isn't enough, bring in the Wicked Stepmother, Lady Tremaine herself. Her ability, Do It Again, lets me return an action card from my discard to my hand. Now, my collection may be small, but I did open a couple of Emerald cards that really enhance the control aspect of this deck. Mother Gothel, Selfish Manipulator. She's definitely going to take control of the situation and lock your opponents in the tower. Skip the drama. Stay with Mama. While this character is exerted, opposing characters can't quest. There's very few things in this game that stop your opponents from questing. Mother Gothel does it. Jasper also makes it so that a character can't quest whenever he quests. Even Flynn Rider has some downsides for your opponent. When it's challenged, the challenging player has to discard a card. In addition to the things these Emerald cards do to my opponents, Mad Hatter also, when challenged, lets me draw cards. There's very little card draw in Emerald and Steel, so I am running all 4 of these. Thank goodness the starter deck came with some Mad Hatter. You know Tinkerbell is from Peter Pan. How about running the villain who she spends quite a bit of time with? Using Captain Hook because he is a low drop, inkable character with a strong challenger ability. And I also like that this Captain Hook, although rare, if I do happen to play a Fire the Cannons early on in the game, I can get that action back with this singular copy of Captain Hook that I have. I'm also playing the Shift Captain Hook because I have it, and I am playing Starkey, so all of these other captains, if I have one of them in play, Starkey quests for an additional lore. These cards don't have the most synergy, but for now, I like the fact that they quest for a lot, have some ink capabilities, and help round out my deck. Genie is in here purely as a low drop with a high willpower and the potential ability to help me shift into Genie Powers Unleashed later on in the game. Then Genie and Tinkerbell, most helpful, have evasive. And then just in case any of my opponents are playing items, Beast has break, which can banish an item when he comes into play. Also on the top end of my deck, ink cost wise, I have a couple of copies of Mickey Mouse Artful Rogue. Mickey Mouse also references some actions. Whenever I play an action, chosen opposing character can't quest during their next turn. So it is situational to me having an action, but as I've shown you, I have quite a few actions. Wow! That's a ton of actions. So hopefully if the game is going late, Mickey Mouse will help me get some additional value. Same thing with Gone To. A captain, so goes with my captain synergy, and characters with cost 2 or less can't challenge any of my characters. Big characters, big willpower, big lore questing. Again, some of these cards might change. Here it is in all of its glory, my Steel Emerald deck. Let me know what you think of my choices, if you'd make any changes, and what upgrades you think I should go for next from both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Belle, hey, hey. Hey, girl.